Waiting for Biden to finally condemn all the violent attacks against Jews in our country in the name of Palestinian terrorism was like waiting for Jill Biden to give Kwanzaa shout-outs on Twitter without Kamala Harris accusing her of cultural appropriation first. Holla! Thank you very much! The Teddy Roosevelt estate was afraid to accuse DMX of cultural appropriation for reimagining the Rough Rider name while thugging it up for all it was worth in hit rap songs such as Pitbulls Don't Do Gentrification. Gentrification, liberal talk for less black people. Yesterday, I drive past Yankee Stadium in the Deegan and say to my daughter, "Look, Matilda, the new Yankee Stadium, the house that gentrification built." Daughter says, "What's gentrification?" I say, "Liberal talk for no plummeting apartment appraisal values since Neil and Bob opened a multi-level gay gastropub dance club called Hip Hops, where bangin' brews and bangin' buds meet to rum shaker the night away to old school hip hop beats." Holla! Thank you very much! Getting checked out at Kohl's. Worker there says, "Do you have any coupons?" I say, "No. I'm not ready to identify with being a stay-at-home female comedian just yet. I need to market my book, The Coast-Sharing Comedian, in the hope of hunting down any talent agent left capable of locating their ballsack, again on my behalf." Co-worker laughs. "Long time!" I'm getting copies of new keys. The locksmith asks in apologetic fashion, "If you don't mind, can I see your ID for the mail key?" I say, "No problem. We already let ISIS vote in our country without ID, so what difference does it make?" Hillary Hammertime Cankles lives, aka Humo Liquor Breath. Holla! Thank you very much! I add, "Why is asking a Latino for our ID racist? Do Latinos have to pass a new height requirement I'm not aware about? If I get pissed about someone asking for my ID, it's a target whenever I'm buying beer with my 3 kids, which makes me feel like a teen dropout mom from Tallahassee. After getting asked for my ID, I want to change my job title on LinkedIn to Crystal Meth Homemaker. I need to get over it because a teen dropout mom from Tallahassee is more likely to buy cases of Coors Light instead of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, the pale ale that never gets stale. Personally, I wish they make a toothpaste that tastes like Coors Light already so I don't taste anything afterwards. I actually gave up drinking beer last summer. It got embarrassing. Spending so much time hungover, recycling, empty reminders of my lush litter past as entire Rocky marathons on AMC passed me by. Holla! Thank you very much! This is my 9-year-old daughter playing marriage counselor again. Stop, Daddy. Mama got your point mid-breath. Holla! Thank you very much! My wife is pushing me to see a therapist for my anger management issues. I suggested Primal Scream Therapy. Wife says, "Don't you do that in your podcast already?" I say, "How would you know? You're only 460 episodes behind, babe. Never mind your complete lack of interest in the 7 books I've written since our lucky number 3 was born." John Lennon wishes he was as productive during his stay-at-home dad years. Holla! Thank you very much! Wife insists our 3rd child, Samuel, chosen curls was bound to woo, gets bored whenever he spends too much time with her. I always knew he was a quick learner. My son Samuel was bound to woo. He stops traffic at Stop and Shop, even after the prime rib sample station is closed. Random Italian grandmas and smoking hot Italian milfs with the juicy pink pants consistently bum rush my son and say, "You're gorgeous. When you get older, you'll have 3 girlfriends to juggle." And I'll reply, "If James Woods had this face, your estimates wouldn't be so conservative." All my fights with my wife revolve around me not making money off my comedy yet. Since I got kicked off Twitter, I can't even write off a joke about the Chinese resisting Wuhan lab investigations more than Aquafresh as a charitable donation anymore either. Holla! Thank you very much! Imagine John Lennon resenting Paul McCartney for shaming him into becoming a stay-at-home dad against his will when he moved to New York with Yoko after Paul had written Hey Jude in honor of Lennon's first son, Julian, who we never got to see that much during the rise of Beatlemania. 2 seconds into John Lennon's planned leisurely baby stroll through Central Park. Wes, with his second kid, Sean. John Lennon screams up at the sky, choke on a fucking cucumber scone, Paul. Playing the role of stay-at-home dad is no walk in the park, mate. Even primal scream therapy has its limitations, like trying to snuggle up bad acid with Yoko whenever Dr. Leary drops by with more CIA-made acid again. Hunter S. Thompson lives. Holla! Thank you very much! The left says there's a rise in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Arab chanting Hitler was right and Allah is great while beating up more pushover Jews in the streets of New York, London, and Los Angeles with the blunt ends of Palestinian flagpoles while the cops do shit to protect them isn't the equivalent of extending a fucking olive branch in the hopes of brokering a peaceful two-state solution either, Jack. I don't see these sparks of divinity inspiring observant Jews to skip Shabbat dinner at home next Friday night in favor of going to a new auction bar opening in Astoria once the mask mandate is cleared in New York either. Palestinians attacking Jews in the subway, asking random New Yorkers who's Jewish so they could beat the shit out of them for more Palestinian flagpoles doesn't inspire me to try out that authentic shawarma stand in Astoria, despite the elite Yelper claiming it's worth getting your skull cap crushed into your cranium for it. The elite Yelper throws in a warning advisory label in the review, though, and says, just don't call random Palestinians attacking Jews in broad daylight throughout all of our major cities in America. Do not call them Islamic supremacists. That's a big no-go zone area in Allah's book. Bill Maher would concur, because he knows Israel will never be able to achieve or broker a two-state solution with Palestine if Hamas keeps fucking holla. Thank you very much. I'm afraid to reveal the mezuzah on my necklace on the subway in New York these days. That doesn't make me Islamophobic. It just means I'm scared of getting pushed onto the subway track and having my white man's disease preventing me from jumping back up to the subway platform in a New York minute just in the nick of time. I can't even do one legitimate pull-up if my dude-all-dead tree trunk and beautifully circumcised schlong was riding on it. But I'm supposed to be overly confident in adrenaline alone being responsible for catapulting me up high enough to grab onto the subway platform before pulling myself up to safety like the Jewish Stallone in Cliffhanger? Yeah, and Rashida Tlaib is the chief happiness officer for Breitbart. Holla! Thank you very much! Imagine being surrounded by a bunch of crazed Palestinian nationalists on the subway today, demanding for you to tell them if you're Jewish without having to prove it by whipping out your business card from Goldman Sachs first. Equity research analyst David Rosenbluth from Short Hills, New Jersey, tenses immediately and says, Jewish? No, of course not. Look, under my arm. I still read the New York Times. I don't even know how many zeros are in a trillion. I count on my fingers for simple arithmetic, which your people invented from what I've read in The Atlantic. Mazel tov. Oy vey. Please don't kill me. I'll block Mark Ruffalo on Twitter. Israel is guilty of genocide, not Mao, Stalin, or Pol Pot. I voted for Obama twice. I think Farsi is the most beautiful sound in the universe, too. And Obama loves Hitler. Obama wishes he was there to organize. Gassing all his nuke deal critics would be a gas. Palestinian nationalist says, you're too funny for a wasp. Samir, chop his fucking head off so we could jump for joy like it's 9/11 again. And I thought David Lee Roth was a long-winded Jew. Van Halen lives. Holla. Thank you very much. This is Mark Ruffalo apologizing to Jon Stewart about accusing Israel of genocide. Mark on Twitter. Mark Ruffalo calls. Hey, John, it's Mark. Sorry about accusing Israel of genocide, despite them giving Hamas plenty of advance warning to get their kids the fuck out of Dodge before they strike back again and again. Normally, genocidal maniacs like Mao prefer to starve millions to death, and Jews don't like to blow through money if they could avoid it. Jon Stewart says, don't sweat it, Mark. I don't care if you're recycling old school Farrakhan talking points like the mulatto version of Public Enemy. And I also don't care if Palestinians at large continue to get green with envy about the Jews controlling the Federal Reserve and all the banks in the North Pole too. Besides, I allowed Trevor Noah and BLM to burn my legacy as a good guy Jew on Israel's side to the ground. So, what difference does it make? Hillary Hammer Time Cankles lives. Holla! Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you guys soon.